Hey everybody, welcome to the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I am Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan. Mr. Raj Giri is having some technical difficulties. He's going to try and make it on here if possible. Tonight we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw for May 29th, 2017, the go-home show before Extreme Rules. Matt, how's it going, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling even better that the Fun Police Raj isn't on. He can't defend you now. You're all mine on this show.
Well, we'll make it work. Did I ever mention what a big fan of yours I am going back to your appearance on Tough Enough, Matt? I said, that kid's got potential. One day, I see great things for him. That being said, so what did you think of the show? What did you think of Raw tonight as far as a go-home show?
I think they tried. I give them credit for trying, for thinking outside the box on a few things. I don't know how it's outside the box it really is, but I liked that they went for the home run with the "This Is Your Life" Bailey thing. I really like that they tried that. Mm-hmm. It was an utter failure, but they tried, and I appreciate that. A lot of things on it I like. It's like I normally do. There's a lot of things on there I like, and then there's some things that I don't agree with that they do. Typical Raw as far as that goes.
Yeah. It felt to me like the problems were with trying to do the service of setting up Extreme Rules. I felt that, again, we saw a lot of the same things we're going to see Sunday in different configurations tonight. And I understand you have to build a story, but to me, it wasn't so much storytelling as just sort of giving away bits and pieces of the match.
Yeah, they need to do more. They need to do backstage. We'll get into it with the 6-man tag, I'm sure. But like, that's a great example right away. You know what I mean? They got to do more backstage. What do you call it? Vignettes or not vignettes, promos and things like that. They don't just have to throw these matches away.
Yeah. So let me ask you about that from a wrestler's point of view. So when you were in a feud and you were building up to a pay-per-view match, when you did these matches beforehand in the weeks building up, were they sort of, no pun intended, the blueprint, bits and pieces of rehearsal for elements of the match? Like you say each time, hey, we got to make it better. We're going to do this and then add a layer onto it. Or do you try and keep it fresh each time?
You try to keep it fresh each time, but like house shows are what those are for. Mm-hmm. House shows, we would go out and put together some elements that we're like, okay, this will be cool when we come back to SmackDown and we have a TV match 2 weeks from now. Because we used to know it really well out back in the day, what we were up to for the most part. And I know I had an angle kind of sort of with Big Show through Carlito, but yet I was the one who was always working Big Show somehow. And so like we would work together on house shows and put some things together that would work, and what would work, we'd put on TV that week. Now for the pay-per-view, you want to do a little bit more, obviously. You don't want to give away what you're going to do in the pay-per-view on TV or house shows. You might try, okay, I take that back. You might try some things on house shows for the pay-per-view because not everyone's seen that. Definitely not on TV.
Gotcha. So tonight they opened with a Memorial Day video package narrated by John Cena. And then we went to the start of the show with The Miz and Maurice coming to the ring for an edition of Miz TV, joined by Dean Ambrose, who, actually originally joined by Sheamus and Cesaro, then interrupted by Dean Ambrose. The Hardys came out and went into a 6-man tag match. What do you think of Dean versus The Miz and how they're building this?
First of all, I apologize for the train noises in the background. My son's inside sleeping fan, so that's how I have to do the show. I thought I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I died laughing when I seen Sheamus and Cesaro come out and then the Hardys come out. I was like, oh my God, because I always think of you guys when I think of new variations for the Hardys versus Cesaro and Sheamus. I was like, well, they found another new one, another new layer somehow. But this is a great example of, this is the one you have backstage promos with you, Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro, especially with Sheamus and Cesaro. They're just turned heel. They should be talking more. They should be doing more stuff backstage, whether it's bullying or whether it's talking about how they've been screwed over, how Sheamus is a former world champion. He's being treated like crap. He's sick of it. Cesaro, all the talent in the world. Stone Cold called him a main event act. What the hell's taking so long? They got a lot of stuff to bitch about,
Yeah.
They need to let them do that. And I would let them do that in the form of a promo. Let the Hardys, take the week off.
Yeah.
Let us know these guys better. But I don't know. I just, as far as your question with Miz and Ambrose, I'm not interested in it at all.
Yeah, and especially it was telling that they have the Miz call out that, oh, Dean won the title for me. It's like, okay, good. Let's just make it very clear that we've run this, ass into the ground now.
Yes.
That's
forever.
A good point.
Hey, real quick, I'm sure fans are wondering, probably doing that too at the beginning of Raw. Why is John Cena the one doing the whole? He wasn't even in the military. I don't understand why John Cena is considered like Mr. USA when it comes to WWE.
Well,
what am I missing?
That's an interesting question.
He played the Marine. He played the Marine, and
he did.
He played the Marine. All of a sudden, he's Mr. doing this shit in my entrance, and Mr. USA. Well, what the hell is that?
That is interesting. I think it's because he's still the most over face across the board. Even with the backlash, I think people still accept him as the Superman of the WWE. He's not like Roman, where it's like legitimate heat. I think with John, it's playful, and he does well at this. What was that video he did last fall? The one about tolerance and acceptance in America. I mean, that went viral like crazy. You know, when John gets behind something, I think not only the universe, if they don't accept it, I mean, if they don't love it, they accept it, but he transcends. Who else could they have done that with that it's going to be viral on Facebook?
You pick the fake James Earl Jones voice guy.
Yeah.
you don't use John Cena at all. I just don't get. I don't know. If I was in the military, I don't know. I'd feel completely patronized whenever he comes out and does his whole. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Well,
I'm not saying he's not. This sounds horrible. I'm not saying he's like some commie or he's like unpatriotic. I'm just saying I just everything he does I feel is just a part of the work. I just do. Feels phony.
Phony or real? I think a lot of people believe it, so it's working for him, you know. Anyhow, so the 6-man tag match itself tonight. Anything, or did it just feel like, hey, you know, chocolate and peanut butter? You put them together, it works.
Not even. I almost thought it was oil. I thought it was almost oil and vinegar.
Wow.
I thought it took away. Again, like there's Sheamus and Cesaro's entrance has gotten cooler.
Yeah.
And it presents them in a cooler light, like bigger stars, I think. But I still don't get why a former world champion is being put in this spot.
Yeah, I don't know.
They don't really talk about it. Like, I want to hear how pissed off he is. I want to hear about how annoyed he is. How, you know, he tried to be be the good corporate employee and do what he was told to be in the tag division for a little bit. When his time would come, it would come. Well, listen up, mother Fletchers. Time's up right now. Yeah. All right. Either shit or get off the pot, or I'm leaving. You know, something along those lines.
And I would say I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm done.
I was going to say for a go-home show, to your point, exactly, is that if you did not happen to watch and pay attention the 1 week when they attacked the Hardys after the match, do you even know that they're heels now?
Good point. Great point. I got to say no.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to remind my wife. She was like, wait, they're bad still? Because they haven't touched on it. They did the attack, and then they just switched corners that they're standing in.
Yeah, and they might do a couple things behind the ref's back, but who cares? It's 2017. Yeah. Not even real heat anymore.
It's very odd. So yeah, I thought that was odd tonight that there was just no storytelling there. Okay, so what's up with Corey Graves got up, panicked, which I thought was a great moment on TV to build curiosity, but then back there with Kurt Angle. What did you think of that tonight? That story?
I'm confused. I was going to ask you guys, did I miss something? Did I miss something with that? And then the other part where Booker's like, elaborate. And he's like, no. And then, like, Kaz comes out and calls him out. I don't understand whether they're obviously going somewhere with this. It makes Corey look uncomfortable, though. And Corey is the coolest dude on that show. And I don't like any way that they try to make him look uncool. And tonight I thought they made him look a little uncool.
It was weird. It was a great moment to build intrigue, but if there was a payoff tonight, much like Matt, I missed it. I don't know what it was.
Me either.
First I went to check Twitter. I was like, did somebody tweet something, you know, in kayfabe? Were they going to do a hack or a leak angle? You know, that's something of angles leaked. I don't know. So we'll see if anyone in the chat can elaborate on it. I think maybe this is their attempt to set up a long-term story arc with Kurt Angle. We'll see if it works. We went from that to Elias Sampson against, I believe that was some local enhancement talent. What did you think of that match? That was longer than your typical enhancement match.
It was. Good word, enhancement, by the way. He looked incredibly aggressive. I got to give him that. And much to Roger's point, he does look like a star physically. You know, he's pretty muscular, pretty big dude. But what I like about him is his aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that match should have went that long. Like, they made it go long. Just if you watch it again, the parts of it that made it go long is when he went on the outside of the ring and, in my opinion, did very minimum damage to the guy. That wasted a good 3 minutes. Like the bow and arrow he did with the guy's back across the LED post. Like, that's something you do. That's something you do in a real match versus a real opponent, not against your local talent guy. Local talent guy, you're just knocking his head all over the place. You know?
Yeah.
And,
well,
so.
I'll tell you, it was vicious. I liked that it had a certain aggression to it that even the Braun. Oh, hey, there's Raj. It had an aggression to it that even the Braun enhancement matches didn't have, in terms of it just being a little meaner spirited.
He was getting on him when he had the guy in the ropes there, and he was just attacking him, and he was vicious. It's a great word. Very aggressive. That's exactly what you're supposed to do with an enhancement talent. Just what you saw.
Yeah. We'll see. Raj, what do you think? Do you think this is going to help get the Drifter over with the fans?
I liked it. I mean, I thought, I feel like they should do that more often with new talent, is put them in with enhancement guys. So it showcases like what their finisher is, what they can do. So I thought it was good. It was a little long, but I thought it was good. It was a good showcase. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what it's building up to. I don't think they have a clear storyline that's launched with him right now, so we'll see where that goes. After that, Bray Wyatt cutting a promo leading up to Finn versus Samoa Joe versus Bray in a triple threat. Matt, what did you think of this pairing?
Crazy that it was on so early in the night, I thought, but again, you have two heels in the ring, and I get that they kind of have a little subsidiary storyline between the two of them, between Joe and Bray, but not enough to where two evil, dastardly heels would not just automatically, immediately team up and beat the holy crap out of that little dude. By comparison, when I say little dude, by two heavyweights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It took a long time to get into that, and they did it on purpose to stretch out the three-way match to where they could shine him. It looked very obvious. That's why they did all that. In fact, that is why they did that. Where one guy would be in the ring, and then the other guy would throw the other guy in the ring, and he'd sit out and be like, "Well, let me see you do better." That's the only thing I don't like about three ways. There's always some dude on the outside chilling, or he's selling. Well, I think if this is reality based, I'd like to see both of them just beat him to a pulp, and then let their two egos clash, and then start going after each other, and then our boy Balor rises up in the corner and starts doing all his stuff. Then that's a better story to tell, and it's more realistic.
Absolutely. I think that would have been a much greater win tonight if they would have done it that way.
And I don't like Joe. I don't like Joe having to win that way. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I don't like Joe being scared of Bray. I don't like Joe being scared of Bray Wyatt's freaking upside down gimmick. I mean, Joe watches the show. He knows he does it. He shouldn't be scared by it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Kick him right in the freaking mush. My Samoa Joe would kick him right in the mush.
Yeah. Raj, what did you think of it?
I thought it made it clear that Samoa Joe's not winning this weekend. I thought the match was good. I mean, it was kind of the standard. It was a standard good triple threat match. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the finish, but again, they keep taking turns beating these guys, so it doesn't matter. Sorry guys, my mic is acting up, still having technical issues, and but yeah, so I thought that Bray Wyatt promo really took me out of the match before. What did you guys think of that?
I'm just tuning it out at this point. But you like it, man?
I'm the only one that likes to do promos too.
But what did he say?
It's not what he says. It's the art of the promo. It's how he says it.
But did it make you more excited for the match? Isn't that what a promo is supposed to do?
No. He made me more. Let me answer. He made me more excited to see him.
Right.
Him and his brand.
But he was cutting a promo about the match. It does nothing at all to get you into excited for that match. At least for me.
To me, it adds to a guy that knows his character, and he's stuck in this weird ass world. And I don't know. I dig him. I think it's different, and it's better than some dude yelling in the mic.
Oh, his delivery style is fantastic. I think it's the content of what he's saying that when you listen to it.
Scooby-Doo peanut butter sandwiches, and I'll be enthralled with it because of how he says it.
That's pretty much what he's saying.
It might actually be a step up.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to try to fix this mic issue.
Okay. So Noam Dar versus Rich Swann tonight, and they announced that it's going to be mixed tag with Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks joining the match at Extreme Rules. Matt, is this a step down for Sasha Banks or
humongous step down? This was they threw her down a flight of stairs.
I thought the dancing part was good. I mean, I thought that she looked like a star during that. She looked fantastic during that part of the segment. But yes, compared to where she was even 2 months ago, she's with the Cruiserweight. She's going to be on 205 Live tomorrow night, for Christ's sakes.
I don't understand it. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't get it. I don't care what they're doing with who's their champion right now?
Alexa.
Come on. Alexa Bliss. You can have two short females get. I don't know what their logic. I'm trying to think what their logic is. I'm trying to think. Maybe they don't think two. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just know that girl is a huge star, and they have found a way to make her not one.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. But she looks like she's making the best of it and trying to have fun with it, at least.
Right. Yeah. That's all you can do.
Really. And who knows? Maybe it'll catch on. Maybe it'll elevate. I mean, already I think it's elevating Alicia Fox a little bit.
Of course it is. Alicia Fox wasn't even on TV, so yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. So Extreme Rules mixed tag. Look forward to that, everyone. Okay. So Rich Swann won that match. Oh, the Revival showed up tonight. Good to see them again. What do you think about where they're building this right now with the Who Attacked Enzo angle and putting the Revival in the mix?
Top guys. Top guys. I love them. I think they're funny. I think they're. I think he was a little uncomfortable on the mic at first, but he got comfortable after a while, and I like where they're going with it. You know, I do. I like that they video footage of them, the attention to detail like that. I think that was pretty cool. But I just like everything about Revival. So anytime they're on TV, I'm happy. Yeah,
it was great to see them. Can't wait to have him back on TV and involved in a big storyline.
Wrestling.
And even with Enzo and Cass, that was fantastic on NXT. It'll be fantastic here, providing creative doesn't screw it up.
Yeah.
So Big Cass confronting Graves. So you didn't like that. You think that makes Corey look a little weaker to have Big Cass getting in his face?
No, not weaker, but like I didn't understand. It was. I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't understand like all of this like overreacting stuff to Corey simply saying who he thought did the deed or whatever it was, or hey, I can't help it, people give me information. Like I've never seen that draw a wrestler from the back before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine how many times wrestlers would have to come out to the announce booth every time an announcer talks, said something halfway negative or anything about somebody? I mean, we'd be out there every show.
That'd be kind of awesome for a week.
So why now?
That would be a great 1 week. That would be a great 1 week, single week gimmick where every wrestler comes out and confronts. They should do it with JBL. Every wrestler comes out and gets in his face if he says something bad about him.
Right. He'd have a long line for real. But like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, why now all of a sudden? And Corey's a cool dude, man. He's very cool in everything he does on that show. Tonight, I didn't think he came across that way.
Between the angle thing and that, definitely. Raj, what did you think of that with Cass getting in Graves' face?
I like that they're doing something with it. Does my mic sound better, by the way?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool. I like that they're doing. I liked it. It was a little different. I didn't like that they kind of had Corey Graves involved in two different angles on the same show. But other than that, it kind of. I like that they're having more suspects out there, even though Enzo looks like a complete fool.
It's odd. And reminder.
Let me be clear. That's not two angles. You can see where this is going. This is going to be one angle, and it's going to be Corey Graves having dirt on people to that nature, and it's corny.
And the WWE is going to do this, and the second somebody else gets their phone hacked or something leaks, this angle is just going to disappear from television, very, very quickly. But I don't know, these mystery things, I mean, they never pay off. They never pay off in a satisfying way. Sometimes they never even pay off. Do we still know who attacked Hideo Itami back in NXT? You know, it's like we never even...
I thought it was KO.
In the clip, I think that every time when they show that. But
when was the last time one of these really paid off? I mean, it's been forever. I mean, you've gotten reveals to be Hornswoggle.
And Samoa Joe got kidnapped.
Right.
By a bunch of ninjas.
Right. But
that was the worst of all time, by the way. Nothing tops
that. Well, I don't know. There have been some bad ones. You don't think Hornswoggle being revealed to be Vince McMahon's son?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was bad.
Yeah, so curb your expectations, people, on this Enzo mystery. Kalisto versus Titus O'Neil tonight. What'd you think of that match and how they're
Kalisto, don't wear trunks.
He does look cooler in pants. Raj, what did you think?
I didn't think anything.
It was fast. It was very fast.
Yeah.
Titus got the win. We'll see, man. I feel like these guys are just all stuck. Like, if Kalisto and Apollo and Apollo are in the same segment, that's not going to do anything for anyone involved. I don't think. I think they need to mix this up a little bit more. I just don't think they're going to get the time to really do anything interesting or creative with it. So let's just talk about perhaps the most controversial segment from tonight. Matt, you said at the top that you liked that they at least tried with this, but Alexa Bliss doing a This Is Your Life segment for Bayley. So, Matt, knowing that you appreciate the effort, I want to get your opinion, but Raj, you first. What did you think of this tonight?
I thought it was god-awful. I thought Alexa tried, and she was out there really trying, but I thought the material was so stupid. It just felt like it went on forever. I mean, it was like I thought it was right there with the old day skit that they did back in the day. I thought it was that bad.
So, Matt, your thoughts?
Well, like I said earlier, I appreciate them trying to do something different, even though it is a remake of something else from the past. But we're talking years ago. They gave the girls center stage. They gave them a spotlight. They gave them a lot of time. You need to knock it out of the park when you give the girls this time, however. And I don't think that they gave them the tools to do it. Like, she's good. Alexa Bliss is good. She almost looks like tonight she was looking for the audience to try to step on it a little bit. You could tell. And to get her little one-liners in on them almost. That's the way I saw it tonight. Still entertaining as hell. Still very clever. But again, the actors they had were horrible. Whoever they had on this was horrible. God awful. Like the best friend was already like answering the question before she even gave her the mic with her body language. Like it was horrible. Whoever the best friend actress should never act again. She's horrible.
You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when they had Rusev with his lawyer? And they had like this terrible, like the worst actor playing Rusev's lawyer, and he had like just this terrible accent. That's what these actors reminded me of.
It was pretty bad, man. And like you said, Alexa tried. That was a lot of time for her to have to pull out. By the way, that was a lot of time they left her hanging in the ring like that. And then they had a table full of like non stuff. It was like a yearbook thing. It was a doll. It was a trophy. Like they weren't even funny. Like the things she was saying about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. They didn't put much thought into it. I didn't think.
You know what's weird to me too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No, that was it.
I was gonna say what's weird too is I know Alexa's being a heel, but she's kind of like the cool girl in this feud, right? The girl that everyone in high school would like, and she's making fun of someone for being a wrestling fan, and I think it just makes the wrestling fans look bad.
And watching Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, just like ripping the fact that she would go want to skip hanging out with friends to watch Monday Night Raw. That's what that's a weird thing to be bringing up on your show.
More importantly, why didn't the fans boo that?
Yeah.
I think they were just too busy booing the segment, but Bayley's got to win this Sunday, right?
The fans, listen to me. The telltale will be the fans online and the fans that come to the pay-per-view. They still look at what's her name, Alexa like she's the star and she's the cool one and she's the one that they're going to be rooting for, even though she just got done saying that.
Yeah.
Right. Bailey's got to be winning here, right? This Sunday, because she has looked like a dunce every week.
Yeah.
Every time.
But you know what it really lacked? That I mean, look, the Mick Foley and Rock segment, "This Is Your Life," you know, fantastic. Always brought up as one of the more creative things that WWE has done. What this lacked that had like 100 times over was there was no payoff. The punchline to the Rock and Mick Foley segment made that, in my mind, 100 times better than it would have been without it. And tonight the payoff was Bailey just came out and like started throwing blows. I mean, it just kind of.
And then she gets taken out anyway. So she gets made fun of. Right. She gets made fun of, comes out to get her revenge, and then gets knocked out. So they've made her look really bad in this build-up.
What did you recall, though, being the payoff in the Mick Foley Rock one, Glenn?
Mick was doing it and saying that, "Rock, I'm doing this for your birthday." And then I can't remember what day it was, but then The Rock says, "Thank you," and it's very sweet and it's very kind, but The Rock's birthday is...
I was just testing you. Okay, good.
It's one of the funniest punchlines, I think, the WWE
his birthday,
Yeah. Because it was such a long segment, too. It was, like, absurdly long, and to have that payoff just made it so much better.
And it was one of the highest rated segments in history. I'm forgetting if it was the highest rated. I think it was just one of the highest rated segments in Raw history, but...
I think
segments like that, they can work. What's that?
I thought it was the highest ever. No?
I think it was the highest against Nitro, but there was one episode of Raw that didn't go against Nitro, and they did like an 8.2 rating, or it was something like that, where Steve Austin wrestled The Undertaker. Yeah, it's when you look at the ratings today, I think it was a 1.8 is what last week's Raw did. And you were talking about 8.1, 8.2.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Sure.
So I don't know, but I will say this, props to Alexa. If she keeps going at this rate with the way she's incorporating the what thing, she's practically making what one of her catchphrases at this point with the way she's weaving that into her promos.
Yeah, I don't think WWE wants that what thing back, you know?
Yeah, but it never went away, you know? If the WWE thought there was money in it, and actually if the WWE, because they know there's money, and if the WWE had the rights, they would still make shirts that just said CM Punk as a protest chant if they could make a buck off of it. You know?
I don't know.
Hey, is that showing MTV yet, by the way, with CM Punk?
Yes.
Yeah, he got called out yesterday, last week.
By Johnny Bennett. I used to watch that show all the time. So I was oh, that's cool. I'm going to watch it then.
Yeah. So Austin Aries and yeah. So update on the Enzo mystery. Kurt Angle said it wasn't the Revival, and Cass got upset. Telling you, this is not gonna pay off.
What would be the best payoff? You think it'd be the Revival? You think it'd be Big Cass, or
just make it the Revival? Why not? The feud will work. It'll be good. We've seen it. It's great.
What if it's Kurt Angle? And that's how they interconnect that Corey Graves, thing from earlier with Angle to this. It'd be different.
That's not half bad.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's not half bad.
Yeah, like he's attacking his own wrestlers, and for whatever reason, and I mean they could do something with it, but
I don't know. I feel like they've already done the character of the GM that hates everyone on the roster with Stephanie McMahon. I don't know with Angle if that'll quite work as well.
Yeah, but if you got one that's behind the scenes taking him out because he doesn't like him or whatever, like that'd be some dark stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll be Vince, when all's said and done. This is his return to TV.
This is Enzo we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Let's settle down.
Yeah.
Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher versus TJP and Neville tonight. Neville tapped out on this. So, Matt, what did you think of the match, and what do you think that does for Neville's chances going up against Aries again?
It's singles coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Submission match.
I would have said that this means Neville for surely keeps his title at the pay-per-view. But I don't know. There's been kind of a chase here, hasn't there?
Oh.
There's been a pretty decent chase here for Austin.
Yeah.
And it felt like this would have been a good time to pull the trigger on it, but now it tells me that they're not, and that they submitted him. Like, that's huge. He wasn't pinned. He was submitted. I'd rather take a pinfall than submit. So I don't know. That kind of baffles me. I think by WWE formula that means he keeps the title. And
if he does that, that kind of ends Aries, right? That's like 3 pay-per-views now in a row where Neville.
That's the conundrum I'm dealing with here, because that's why this threw me off.
Yeah.
I thought the other guy would take the loss tonight for sure.
Right. No, I thought so too. So yeah, and where do you go without Aries? Like Neville with anyone else just doesn't have the same. It just brings the whole cruiserweight division down another peg.
Maybe Gallagher, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of, I mean, they did that before Aries. I mean, they could go back to that, but I don't know. This cruiserweight division.
Oh yeah, they did. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not looking promising.
I don't know, Raj. Sasha Banks is coming to 205 Live tomorrow night.
Hey, what color ropes do you think are they going to use this Sunday? Because you got Sasha, who's not a cruiserweight, and Alicia Fox. Maybe every other rope is purple or something.
Asking the real questions.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about one of the high points of the night and the main event in a moment. But first, I want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this episode, DDPY, DDP Yoga. You've heard us talk about it, specifically their awesome Max Pack used by the likes of Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, Mick Foley, Goldust, and tons of other WWE stars who love using DDPY. For a limited time, you can get 3 months of full access to the DDP Yoga Now app and the DDPY DVDs for 25% off. Comes in a nice package together. Or if you're digital only, you can get just the DDP Yoga Now app for 25% off. This has got Diamond Dallas Page's Monday motivational messages. It's got your DDPY workouts. It's even got cooking lessons teaching you how to make healthy food taste amazing. And they have a deal where you can buy a max or combo pack at 25% off and get 50% off the second one. Head on over to ddpyoga.com/wrestlinginc to take advantage of these offers. That's ddpyoga.com/wrestlinginc. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. Speaking of Goldust, tonight, extensive Goldust promo with an R-Truth promo, but correct me if I'm wrong, they did not announce when that match is happening, did they?
Yeah, so I don't think it's this Sunday. I mean, they could always, I mean, they usually tweet, because I don't think, have they announced a kickoff show match yet?
The kickoff show?
Yeah.
But you know something? I don't think it doesn't even have to happen for me. I like this stuff that they're doing right now, nice and slow.
Yeah, I think if they did it this Sunday, it'd be too soon, because they haven't invested enough time that I wouldn't want you to just blow it off that quick. So, I mean, I thought this segment was
starting to pique my interest. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought this segment was really good. I thought Goldust and R-Truth were both good tonight. I mean,
they both were. Even though R-Truth was reading off a card, even though it was a quote from freaking what do you call it? What's that movie?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. He read it off a card.
Well, it was I've been saying, I wish things were more organic, and but for the scripted stuff that they do, this was pretty good.
Especially Goldusts.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at Goldust. I'm like, man, I could see another run in him. Another decent singles run.
Seriously, I'll watch that Goldust all day. I love that Goldust.
Yeah. Man, I hope it's leading to something good. But I thought R-Truth, they did a good job tonight of rebuilding his credibility after how, they've played his character, how his character's been written for so long. Yeah. So it could be good. But yeah, we'll see if they announce something for Extreme Rules. But this could be really, really good if they don't screw it up. So we'll see. Let's talk about this main event tonight. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Something it feels like we see this quite a bit in some form or another. But Matt, how did you think their match tonight with Roman winning stacked up to their previous face-offs?
Tonight's match was ridiculous. You didn't think it was good? I thought tonight's match was outstanding. Like,
that was awesome.
Oh,
did you see Seth Rollins freaking frog splash in slow-mo? Holy crap.
Always good.
Major. And then, oh my God, going with the friggin' with the power bomb buckle, whatever the hell it's called.
That buckle bomb?
The power bomb. Yeah.
Into the Superman punch?
Superman punch.
That was awesome.
God. Like, Roman does not get enough credit for how much he's gotten better, man. That is not easy to pull off. That buckle, that kills, for the record.
And this crowd woke up for this match. I mean, they were going nuts for this. I mean, it was awesome. I thought it was great. To me, it tells me that Seth is winning that 5-way this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, Seth and Finn are kind of like the two real choices.
Not Finn Balor, huh?
I think it's going to be Seth right now, and they go with Finn at the next pay-per-view.
Well, we'll see. I thought it was a great match. I think the issue with these guys against each other is it's always a very long match, and I felt like making it the close of the show, I thought that Roman winning, I just expected something more, some sort of interference, some sort of twist, some sort of turn. I've described this before. Whenever these guys go up against each other, it's Batman versus Superman. It's a big, long, drawn-out fight, and they do it very well, but it's always that same sort of format. We have to keep both of them looking at their peak of strength. They both have to look exceptionally strong, and one has to just slightly best the other one. I feel like that's how these tend to end.
How else should it go?
I don't know. I think there's a problem with
what you're
faces.
describing would be. Hang on. What you're describing would be like Batman versus some job, like
No,
the janitor.
I think there's a problem when you have top faces going off against each other because they're both so protected that the match just tends to go on much longer, to the point where it almost has to have this spectacular out of nowhere ending, for me at least, to I think have this great payoff to it. That's just my take on it.
I got to go with Matt here on this. I thought the match itself was great. Now, Glenn, to your point, I do think this was a pay-per-view go-home show, and I felt like they weren't really selling that stip that one of these guys is getting the title shot. You got to tune in and see who's next for Brock Lesnar, making a big deal out of what this fatal 5-way is, this Sunday. It's just kind of, mentioned here and there. And watching the show, I forgot that there's a pay-per-view on Sunday, nothing really hit me that I need to watch this pay-per-view on Sunday.
I take it as one of these guys who win is going to be the next top guy. You know what I mean? Is going to be the next guy. Because I keep forgetting Brock's the champ. I swear to God, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, they never say anything. I mean, they had Heyman on last week, but that was about it.
I keep thinking, like, is this for the title? Like, oh crap, that's right. No, none of these guys have the title. Brock does. But it's like for the next guy in line, I guess. So I look at it that way. But again, like Glenn, like the good analogy I'll use as to why it has to be long and why it has to take every move in the book for these guys to put each other down because they're top guys is like watch an old Godzilla film, right? Mm-hmm. Can you imagine Godzilla fighting, like, was it the Mothman or whomever?
Mothra.
And you don't see Godzilla marching across the friggin', the city skyline, stomping on buildings as he's going. And all the Japanese are running all over the place, scared as hell, and he's hitting everything. He's hitting Mothra with everything in the kitchen sink, but Mothra keeps coming back. Like, that, I want to watch that film. Mm-hmm. I don't want to watch Godzilla just not even get out of the water and just choke slam Mothra in the water and drown him right away.
Oh, absolutely. No, and in fact, I would say that having two villains or two monsters fighting each other is great. I love those type of fights. And I think that they have a ton of storytelling potential with this, because this was a fight tonight.
Godzilla's a baby face by proxy in this. People just don't hear.
He's really just more of, but he's a victim. I mean, a victim of radiation, nuclear testing. But anyhow, so I think what it is look, Roman was great tonight in this match. They performed really well, and he was great every time him and Seth, they put on a fantastic match. It's just always a very long match. And tonight, this wasn't even, there were no stakes tonight. The Fatal 5-Way is going to have the stakes, and the winner of that gets to face Brock Lesnar. These are, Matt, to what you said, these could be top guys. These are the top guys. With Brock on, these are the two biggest guys in the company. So it also seems kind of silly that they're having this nothing match before a pay-per-view to be in part of this 5-way match for a chance to face the absentee champ.
As far as that, yes, you're 100% right. There was no like anything on the line if one of them wins or loses. Yeah, you're right. But as far as they need ratings, they got to put guys out there that they think will get them for them. And I think those guys delivered. And the reason, what defines a long match to me is like lots of rest holds, match moving way too slow, not picking up when it needs to pick up. This match, in my opinion, was in fifth gear from beginning to end. And I usually don't like that. I think you do need to have some peaks and valleys. And they did put some in there at the right times. But that was an action-packed match for me. They did everything like right on the right times. I can't even explain it to you. They gear shifted at all of the proper times. And that's so hard to do. It takes guys years to be able to do that. And again, Roman, we know Seth is money as far as in the ring, but Roman does not get enough goddamn credit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
he is so good, man.
This match was so good that I thought I had a kind of a negative rating for tonight's Raw until this match. And then I was like, that kind of changed it because it was that good. But, you know, again, no real, nothing really hitting home that I need to get this pay-per-view on Sunday.
It's also kind of
really, you know, what about Bailey with a kendo stick? Kendo stick.
Right, yeah.
Excited?
Right. Yeah. No, that, yeah, nothing. The Hardys, I've got to almost think they're losing because they have won every single week.
Every variation.
Yeah, exactly. So at least this week they didn't beat Cesaro or Sheamus. At least they pinned The Miz. But yeah.
I also feel.
Did you hear what I was saying earlier, Raj? I'm sorry, Glenn.
No, go for it.
Go ahead, Glenn. That they should not even let them, the Hardys and the Cesaro Sheamus stuff, they shouldn't even have them wrestle. We should be hearing from the former world champion Sheamus, multi-time world champion, I believe, and Cesaro, who Stone Cold Steve Austin called a main event act waiting to happen. We need to hear from them and why they have so much to gripe about, especially Sheamus.
Right.
You know, hey, I went down to the tag division because I'm a good corporate guy and that's what I was told to do. I bide my time, do what I'm told, and my time would come again. Well, it ain't come yet, you know, and then start going off.
Oh, absolutely.
Pissed off about it. Like I'd pay to see that guy. I'd pay to see Cesaro bragging about how goddamn good he is, and yeah, he doesn't get the just due he deserves as a singles act.
Yeah,
you know?
No.
And I want to hear that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they turned heel, and then that was just kind of it. Now they're back to losing singles matches to the Hardys. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I feel like these storylines that you have, taking them somewhere and really furthering up on it, and not just doing the same matches every week, would help a lot. I think I just see no creativity right now in Raw. And you know, we said tonight there was that Kurt Angle thing with Corey Graves and, you know, laying out Enzo. Maybe those go somewhere, but those aren't main event angles either. Maybe the Kurt Angle one can turn into one, but there's just nothing interesting right now on the show. And so it's just like whether the matches are good or not.
I will say I do like the all five guys jockeying for that top spot. Even though Brock's a champion, I don't really consider him the top guy because he's never there. You know what I mean? I like seeing, like what I'm seeing when I watch the show is no matter what variation or what form it's in, Rollins, Reigns, Balor, Joe, and Bray all battling who's going to upstage the other and who's the one that's going to be the top dog out of that group.
Yeah, but
I like watching that.
Yeah, but I felt like tonight they should have been cutting promos on how they're going to beat Lesnar, how they want Lesnar, how they're going to beat Lesnar, just hitting home what's at stake, you know? I felt like it just was never hit home what's at stake this Sunday. And it really, usually this kind of match on Sunday is usually the setup for the pay-per-view, for the world title match at a pay-per-view. And, you know, in this case, what's that?
We don't have one. Brock ain't there. Ain't there to work. Yeah,
and I think, I mean, it looks like he's going to be around all summer after the, you know, starting in a few weeks. I think it's 2 weeks he's coming back. So, you know, I think it's fine he's champ as long as he's on TV. But once he's ready to leave again, I think you might want to take the belt off him, maybe put it on Strowman or something, because, you know, like you said, you forget that there's a world champion. And, and you know, I sometimes think less is more. I don't think he needs to be on TV every week, but he should be.
We need to be reminded who the champion is.
What's that?
Even if it's vignettes, we need to see something, though.
Yeah, he hasn't appeared. You know, he's appeared once since WrestleMania, and that's where he won the title. So, yeah, he might need to. I mean, I know they want to do Brock and Roman at WrestleMania and have Roman beat Brock for the title, but you could always take it off Brock for a while, and then once he's back, then put it back on him, and then lose to Roman at Mania if that's the way they want to go. But if he's going to be champion for the full year, I feel like it's just making the shows feel like they're just treading water because there's nothing to fight for.
And they all come off like a bunch of little kids for some reason to me. They come off like little boys compared to like a man. Does that
right.
sound mean? Like that's a vibe I get.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, they
guess
book
maybe-
him that way. They book him like they're not anything special, and they book Brock and Braun and Roman to be like the special guys, and it comes across that way.
Yeah.
Miss Braun Strowman, man.
When's he back?
He's supposed to be coming back at the end of this month or next month in July.
How do you get hurt with that ambulance spot?
I think he had lingering shoulder issues, and so they used that ambulance spot to kind of write him off.
We ran in the door. Oh, okay.
And yeah, so, but yeah, he'll be back. He's supposed to be back in July.
Yeah. Well, let's go over the rundown, go over the card for Extreme Rules coming up this Sunday on the WWE Network. Of course, we'll be here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Immediately after that goes off the air on the East Coast to discuss everything that happens. So starting with the mixed tag match, Rich Swann and Sasha Banks versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. Matt, it's a step down for Sasha, but who do you think is going to win on Sunday?
Raj, I called it not a step down. I called it homegirl getting thrown down a flight of stairs. I couldn't even tell you what team is Sasha on. Rich Swann.
With Rich Swann.
That's who's gonna win.
Okay.
Yeah, I think even though Rich Swann beat Noam Dar, he beat him right tonight. I'm already forgetting.
Yeah, because they danced after. It was festive.
Yeah. So I think they win again.
And we talked about it earlier, Neville versus Austin Aries, submission match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Is it F or walk time, Matt, on this?
Man, I don't see it happening twice in a row. I don't, but yet it kills off their story. I mean, I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I'm hoping Austin Aries wins. How's that?
Yeah, no, I agree, but the fact that they had him submit him cleanly, that was Neville's first submission or pinfall loss since he came back. So do they do it 2 weeks in a row? I don't think so. I think Neville beats him. But yeah, I think it kind of kills Aries. I agree with you, Matt. I hope Aries wins because, then you can have Neville chasing him. And because both of these guys are just so far above everyone else in that division as far as star power and promos and everything, and just how they appear. They come across as serious while everyone else is like kids. And so I hope Aries, but I think Neville.
Man, they got to do something. It's making Aries look bad at this point. Okay, so after that, the Hardy Boys versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Raj, you were saying earlier you think the title might switch?
Man, I don't know. I mean, the Hardys are still, the most over team by far that they have on Raw. So, do you beat them already? I'll go with I'm going to go with the Hardys winning, even though it's Cesaro and Sheamus have been losing every week. I still think that they give it to them.
Matt?
I have a feeling Sheamus is owed something. I do. He has to be. I think that they win. I think that Sheamus and Cesaro win it, get the titles.
In a cage.
You're a tiebreaker.
I think in a cage, the Hardys have an advantage. I think the Hardys are going to put on more of a show. I think a cage
definitely
suits them better. And it's tough to think about them doing this really flashy, great performance and losing. That seems, I don't know, a little counterintuitive to me.
No, I could see Jeff, instead of Jeff climbing over the top and leaving like he should, him going for it all and trying to hit a swanton while the other gets out of the cage.
Yeah.
Or if they use this as an excuse to break the Hardys up, I think that would be really interesting.
That's what I'm thinking, by the way. I didn't want to put it out there in case I'm wrong. But
yeah, they could. I don't know what Matt does without that broken gimmick.
See ya. I want Jeff.
Right. Yeah, no, I think Matt would die a slow death. But Booker keeps referring to him as a nostalgia act. He calls him nostalgist. Says nostalgia so many times. I think it hurts him every time he says it.
Yeah.
So you got to think there must be a reason that he's being said to say that line.
No, Booker just sometimes sucks.
Yeah.
So he's staying around for longer than originally anticipated. So David Otunga is not coming back yet.
Well, till the end of summer. So we'll see. Alexa Bliss versus Bailey. Raj, Matt, you guys think Bailey's going to win it back?
She has to, but I don't know. I don't know. Did they realize they buried her so much that even they put the title on her, it won't do anything anymore?
Right. It's kind of like what they did with Sasha. Like she was badly booked when she couldn't win, the title in her hometown in that Hell in a Cell match, or she lost it. And it's kind of been floundering ever since. If Bailey doesn't win here, I think she'll be floundering. I think she has to win. But Alexa, she just got the title. She's really hot right now. But hey, Bailey winning keeps the feud going because they don't really have much else right now. So Bailey.
And Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. Matt, who do you like for that, for the IC championship?
I don't, and I'm a Miz fan, that, but I don't care about this angle or match in the slightest. Like, I really don't. And that's surprising because I usually like Miz's stuff for the most part. But I don't know. Dean Ambrose just keeps getting protected with these types of matches. And he needs to start losing to these guys and getting other guys over. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I think The Miz wins here. I feel like Dean Ambrose just hasn't done anything as Intercontinental Champ. Like, he's just been kind of treading water. And I think The Miz just came across as more important on SmackDown than he does on Raw. I feel like that was a bad move to have him move from SmackDown to Raw. But I think he wins it. I don't think it'll be a DQ either. I don't think every time they do this, the title can't change hands on a DQ or a countout. It never does. It's always a pinfall or a submission. So I'm going to go with The Miz.
And, of course, the Fatal 5-Way to determine the number one contender for the WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt versus Samoa Joe.
Finn Balor.
Raj?
I'm going to go with Seth.
I think
Seth, Finn, and Bray are the most likely. If you had to, I guess that's the majority of the people in the match. But out of those three, I think I got to go with Seth.
Well, we'll see. And then, of course, that match will take place. Great Balls of Fire.
Glenn, who do you pick?
I think Finn. I think Finn makes the most sense for right now. If there's no storyline coming up for Finn, what are the rumored storylines? I saw Roman versus Bray was kicked about, and going back to Seth versus Joe. Who's going to be up against you going out of this, based on what you know, Rush?
Well, right now it's still Seth versus Samoa Joe. Finn is just been wrestling Carl Anderson. I think they're waiting for Braun to get back and then move Bray to Finn, and then Braun and Roman back to working with each other again. But that won't be till July. So.
Yeah. In the build-up for Great Balls of Fire. So everyone that's not looking forward to this pay-per-view, look forward to the fact that come Monday, they're going to start having to plug the hell out of that. And you're going to hear Great Balls of Fire for the better part of June going into July.
Well, at least Brock will be back. At least the world title will be back. Raw will have a world championship again. Hopefully I feel like WWE has been in such a creative rut. Hopefully that helps turn the page a little bit, but it's been slow.
So Matt, final thoughts on tonight's show.
I thought they tried with certain things, but they didn't go all the way. Like with the This Is Your Life segment, I give them credit for even thinking up something and putting the spotlight on the girls like that. I'm a fan of that, right? But they didn't go all the way. It's like they ran this marathon and they're about to cross the finish line and they just stopped like an inch away from the finish line with the most basic, fundamentally things and tools to use in this segment. They didn't do, and it's frustrating. But that was like a synopsis of the whole show. I felt with the three-way. It was lazily booked. Not the finish either, but how they set that match up with one guy just sitting outside watching the two of them work. That would never happen in a real life fight. That kind of stuff. It was frustrating. Everything else was paint by the numbers as far as like the tag team title situation. They just, here's a new one. Like, I immediately thought of you guys when I saw that they made it to a 6-man with those two. I'm like, they found a new variation. They proved us wrong. They did find one. But that kind of crap. So I give them I don't know, a C.
Wow. Raj, how about you?
Yeah, I think I'd be around a C. I was going close to a D before that main event.
Main event. Yep.
And then that really helped it. So a C plus because that main event was really good. But as a go home show, I thought it was poor as far as getting you excited for the pay-per-view. I'm gonna have to keep reminding myself, and Matt, I'm gonna remind you too about the pay-per-view Sunday because it's this Sunday.
And it's Extreme Rules. This used to be.
Honestly, I was worried it was this past Sunday, and you guys missed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense of urgency into why you need to watch this show.
This used to be like one of the solid B-level pay-per-views. One of the ones people looked forward to, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, none of these gimmicks, these gimmick matches. I don't think there's, I mean, the steel cage is probably the closest thing to, I don't know, something promoting violence. I mean, that was always a thing with Extreme Rules, right? Is it's supposed to be this violent event. What's that?
It was their night where they kind of sliced some ECW attitude in there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So like the kendo in their eyes, I'm telling you right now, the kendo stick match is that.
Well, you know, the other ones you got, it's a submission match. The Fatal 5-Way, there's nothing even. Nothing. And the Miz versus Dean Ambrose, that's not even like a no DQ. It's if he gets DQ'd, he gets, you know, Miz wins the title. So. Yeah, these steps aren't the most extreme that you'll see.
I'm more excited about Money in the Bank.
Yeah, same here. They got a hell of a lineup for that ladder match. So that undercard's going to be hurting, but that main event's going to be off the hook.
Cool. Well, we'll see. And we'll be back here on Wednesday, Raj and myself, to talk all about SmackDown Live tomorrow night SmackDown Live, rather, on Wednesday. And again, Sunday night after Extreme Rules goes off the air, myself, Raj, and Matt Morgan recapping all the action. So, Matt, anything you want to plug before we take it home here?
Yes, please. Like I told you guys before, I'm doing a bodybuilding competition July 22nd. in Winter Park, Florida. I just want to plug a sponsor of mine that's covering my costs for it. It's musclesportmagazine.com. It's nothing like your Flex magazine or your normal bodybuilding magazines or your fluff muscle and fitness magazines, where 90% of the crap in there is either commercials or a like ghost written article about a bodybuilder. It's not even the guy's words. It's usually fake. Hate to break it to you guys. This site is like 100% like legit. They talk about everything in bodybuilding. They talk about like all the real things, the things that go wrong, the things that go well, things that you can do to help yourself, do it the right way. Lots of stuff like that. So I really encourage people to check out musclesportmagazine.com. Good people. Also check out 5% Nutrition. That's what I'm using right now, getting my ass in shape for my show on July 22nd. You guys, I know everybody complains about needing like some energy. You can take a pre-workout and not go to the gym. You can take a pre-workout when you get up in the morning and you're struggling. Screw the coffee. Take a pre-workout instead with BCAAs in it, and you'll actually be doing something for your body. You'll kickstart your metabolism, and it's better for you than coffee in the long run, actually, because it has less caffeine, but has other stimulants in it where you don't crash, and it's better for your body. So 5%nutrition.com, musclesportmagazine.com. Definitely check out cardilloweightliftingbelts.com. They've made me my own custom belt. Go on my Instagram page, check it out. It's freaking dope. And I'm sure I've got some more that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, swoleclock.com. I wish I was wearing my watch right now and show you guys. Again, go to my Instagram page. They have the freaking flyest watches out there, big faced watches. This is definitely a site to check out. swoleclock.com. Swole as in I'm swole.
Indeed you are. And in fact, Matt Morgan is someone I would take advice from about something to give you energy, because dude, you're working a full time, you're in the best shape of your life, and you're wrestling on Impact Wrestling.
Yes,
Busy man.
Definitely.
And doing these podcasts
and doing the podcasts after on top of it.
So Matt, you'll be back on Sunday, and we got Wednesday and Sunday, so stay tuned.
Sweet.
Cool, man. So until next time, on behalf of Mr. Matt Morgan, Raj, Giri, and myself, thank you for tuning into the Wrestling Inc. podcast, and we'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care.
Shooter's door.